The formulation of new memories is sometimes called construction, and the process of bringing up old memories is called reconstruction. Yet, as we retrieve our memories, we also tend to alter and modify them. A memory pulled from long-term storage into short-term memory is flexible. New events can be added, and we can change what we think we remember about past events, resulting in inaccuracies and distortions. People may not intend to distort facts, but it can happen in the process of retrieving old memories and combining them with new memories. Roediger and DeSoto, 2015. Suggestibility. When someone witnesses a crime, that person's memory of the details of the crime is very important in catching the suspect. Because memory is so fragile, witnesses can be easily, and often accidentally, misled due to the problem of suggestibility. Suggestibility describes the effects of misinformation from external sources that leads to the creation of false memories. In the fall of 2002, a sniper in the D.C. area shot people at a gas station, leaving Home Depot and walking down the street. These attacks went on in a variety of places for over 3 weeks and resulted in the deaths of 10 people. During this time, as you can imagine, people were terrified to leave their homes, go shopping, or even walk through their neighborhoods. Police officers and the FBI worked frantically to solve the crimes, and a tip hotline was set up. Law enforcement received over 140,000 tips, which resulted in approximately 35,000 possible suspects, Nusayim and IND. Most of the tips were dead ends until a white van was spotted at the site of one of the shootings. The police chief went on national television with a picture of the white van. After the news conference, several other eyewitnesses called to say that they, too, had seen a white van fleeing from the scene of the shooting. At the time, there were more than 70,000 white vans in the area. Police officers, as well as the general public, focused almost exclusively on white vans because they believed the eyewitnesses. Other tips were ignored. When the suspects were finally caught, they were driving a blue sedan. As illustrated by this example, we are vulnerable to the power of suggestion, simply based on something we see on the news. Or we can claim to remember something that in fact is only a suggestion someone made. It is the suggestion that is the cause of the false memory. Misidentification. Even though memory and the process of reconstruction can be fragile, police officers, prosecutors, and the courts often rely on eyewitness identification and testimony in the prosecution of criminals. However, faulty eyewitness identification and testimony can lead to wrongful convictions. Figure 11, a bar graph, is titled Leading Cause of Wrongful Conviction in DNA Exoneration Cases. Source, Innocence Project. The x-axis is labeled Leading Cause, and the y-axis is labeled Percentage of Wrongful Convictions. First 239 DNA exonerations. 4 bars show data. Eyewitness misidentification is the leading cause in about 75% of cases. Forensic science in about 49% of cases. False confession in about 23% of cases. And informant in about 18% of cases. Figure 8.11. In studying cases where DNA evidence has exonerated people from crimes, the Innocence Project discovered that eyewitness misidentification is the leading cause of wrongful convictions. Benjamin N. Cardozo, School of Law, Yeshiva University, 2009. How does this happen? In 1984, Jennifer Thompson, then a 22-year-old college student in North Carolina, was brutally raped at knife point. As she was being raped, she tried to memorize every detail of her rapist's face and physical characteristics, vowing that if she survived, she would help get him convicted. After the police were contacted, a composite sketch was made of the suspect, and Jennifer was shown 6 photos. She chose 2, one of which was of Ronald Cotton. After looking at the photos for 4 or 5 minutes, she said, "Yeah, this is the one." And then she added, "I think this is the guy." When questioned about this by the detective who asked, "You're sure? Positive?" she said that it was him. Then she asked the detective if she did okay, and he reinforced her choice by telling her she did great. These kinds of unintended cues and suggestions by police officers can lead witnesses to identify the wrong suspect. The district attorney was concerned about her lack of certainty the first time, so she viewed a lineup of 7 men. She said she was trying to decide between numbers 4 and 5, finally deciding that Cotton, number 5. Looks most like him. He was 22 years old. By the time the trial began, Jennifer Thompson had absolutely no doubt that she was raped by Ronald Cotton. She testified at the court hearing, and her testimony was compelling enough that it helped convict him. How did she go from, I think it's the guy, and it looks most like him, to such certainty? Gary Wells and Dia.